Hey, Hop listeners. Guess what I did this morning? Guess what I did, Gabe? I placed an order through fnxfit.com to restock my vanilla milkshake whey protein. I'm stocking up, and I'm not even done with the last one yet. That's how good it is. Can't live without it. Look, you might be out there thinking, aren't they a beer show? Why are they always pushing this fitness company on me? Yes, we are. That's how much we love FNX Fitness. I genuinely can't live without it. Their protein has changed my workout game. Look, they've got all the supplements you need to get the most out of your workout. They've got fashionable fitness wear. They've got pre-workout, post-workout, super greens, multivitamins, and so much more. FNX will change your fitness game. Head over to fnxfit.com and get 15% off your purchase by using our exclusive promo code. Simply enter HOPOD15 at checkout. That is HOPOD15 at checkout. Get 15% off. Get a great deal. Kick your fitness routine into high gear. Do it. Everybody, welcome into The Hop.
Woo!
This is The Hop. It's a craft beer podcast. My name is Steven. That's Gabe.
Hi, how we doing, folks?
What's going on? You've probably never heard of the brewery we're doing today.
Yeah, probably not. We only featured them once before. Yeah, probably not because no one knows, but we're
Just
kidding.
Kittens. It's AleSmith Brewing out of San Diego. We're returning to AleSmith. And here's why. AleSmith Brewing, when we do episodes, we like to reach out to the brewery in question, let them know that we've stolen their brand name and identity.
We gave them our professional thoughts on what we thought about their beer.
And we reached out to AleSmith, and they were gracious enough to get back to us, which we always love when a brewery does.
Yes.
And not only that, they have just released a whole bunch of new beers, which we did mention on the last episode, but they were gracious enough to send them to us and give us the opportunity to feature them again. So
yeah, this
AleSmith 2.0.
This one's exciting because we don't have beers that you can just go and sample yourself. You have to listen to us now. I mean, we got a bunch of new stuff. We got 3 awesome beers, all pretty different. And shout out to AleSmith for sending us these beers. I think this is the first time that a brewery sent us beer, so we're very, very excited.
Yes, and if anybody out there is listening and you work for a brewery,
please send us stuff.
This is proof. If you send it to us,
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
We'll shout you out.
We've done it in the past.
I'm very excited because for those of you on YouTube can see, I'm rocking the San Diego Chargers jersey this time. Not the LA Chargers, but the San Diego.
Which you do have.
I do have, but this is the jersey they wore when we were in San Diego, and I completely missed the boat on rocking this the first time we did this episode.
Is that the LT jersey?
No, this is Antonio Gates. Get your history, Steven.
I don't know what the numbers are.
It's got my name on the back, but it's Antonio Gates.
So just for the record, today will be all about the beer. If you want to hear about the history of the brewery, how the brewery got started, what they're doing now, other beers that they brew, all that kind of stuff, you can check out Round 58. You could pause this episode right now. It's right back there in your podcast feed. Just scroll back, listen to that, get all the history, and then come right back. We'll still be here.
Yeah, exactly.
At the HO Podcast is the Instagram and the Twitter. Hit us up over there. We are so active on social media, it's not even funny. So if you want to engage with us, that's a great way to do it. We are on Apple, Spotify, Google, all those fun things. We love it. If you rate and review the show, if you're listening to us and you enjoy us, tell us your thoughts. Give us a 5-star. We'd love that. 4-star we'll take. 3-star, less than that. You weren't hugged enough as a child. That's okay.
If you gave us a 1-star, we're gonna be very upset.
But the rate and reviews are really helpful. If you're listening to the show and you're like, God, I really wish they'd talk about that more, or I really wish they'd shut up about that, or I really wish they'd stop playing that Montana drop.
Montana.
Tell us in the comments. That's how to give your feedback on that. And we're on YouTube, as Gabe mentioned. We are a video podcast. Hello, if you're out there looking at us, and you can check out the beer, see the pictures of it, see the footage of it, see our smiling faces. Get on there, subscribe, click that bell. You'll get a notification every time a new episode drops. It is every Thursday. Just a spoiler alert.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know where we can get football merch. Apparently, Steven's in need of a Packers sweatshirt.
We don't have to go into that here, but Amazon really screwed me over. I had one.
Packer fans, help your boy out.
It's got to be a nice one. I need a good one.
We'll give you some options.
I want ones like they wear on the sidelines. Like I want a Matt LaFleur, like a shine, like a little bit of shine.
Yeah.
Like it's green, but it's got a little shimmer to it.
It's like you're modest, but you're showing off the trophies from the past.
It's a little bit modern, but like, yeah. I guess it's news time, Gabe.
I guess so.
Beer news.
Nerds, listen up. This is exciting. If you're like me, I'm
candy?
into this. Yes, all nerds candy.
All nerds candy, listen up.
The Brewers Association has released new beer style guidelines for 2021. Since 1979, the Brewers Association has provided annual beer style descriptions as a reference for brewers and for beer competition organizers. So it's just sort of a standard. It's just sort of this is what this style is, and it just sort of gives parameters. It should be between this many and this many IBUs. It should be this color on the SRM chart. Yeah. Hop profile should be this. Malt profile should be this. It's really in depth, and they do it every year. We also use these metrics in our analysis of beer. So the 2021 version has been unleashed, like it's
unleashed.
Let it out of a cage.
Like we're playing freaking Mortal Kombat.
They made a lot of changes to this year's guidelines, including creating several new beer style categories, including a Kentucky Common Ale, a New Zealand style Pale Ale, and New Zealand style IPA, and a Belgian style Session Ale. So that's kind of interesting. The Kentucky Common, I read about these a little bit. The Kentucky Common is much like a California Common, as I understand it, only it's darker in color, so it's a little bit maltier, maybe a little less bitterness than a California Common. The New Zealand style Pale Ale and IPA, I mean, I don't quite understand yet what the difference is between that.
While drinking a beer, you have to speak with a New Zealand accent. I think that's what it is.
Oh, I couldn't. I mean, after the Scottish one,
we don't even want to try that.
And the Belgian style Session, I assume, is just a Belgian style beer that is crushable. So, but these are all in there. And if you're interested in checking it out, I highly encourage you to do so. It's brewersassociation.org, and you can get all the information there. It's really cool and helpful if you are a nerd like me.
And this is really cool because for like competitions and stuff like that, it gives breweries another category to put another beer in.
Yeah.
So it gives them more like exposure.
It basically, as breweries continue to push the boundaries and invent and innovate and try new things and try new styles, the Brewers Association has to keep adapting. And they didn't just pull Kentucky Common out of nowhere. They do a lot of research. It's apparently a style that dates back to like the 20s or something. I mean, I was reading about it a little bit. But this isn't a nerd show, so we're not going to go too deep down that rabbit hole. But you could, if you're interested, brewersassociation.org.
Moving right along, Victory Brewing is celebrating their 25-year anniversary with a campaign and a beer. It is called their Brotherly Love. That is the name of the campaign and the beer. They are setting up what they're calling Brotherly Love Community Fund with the help of launching their new year-round Hazy IPA. It is, as I mentioned, called Brotherly Love. It's intended to promote and inspire the purposeful change the world is craving after a year of uncertainty. Hashtag 2020 was a nightmare. Anywho, the anniversary year marks a much-needed return of what they are calling the social connection and sense of togetherness that craft beer cultivates. As we have mentioned many times, if there's one thing that brings people together, it's definitely craft beer and breweries. So this is something that we really enjoy. Now, the fund is creating opportunities and uplifting those in need through partnerships with national nonprofit organizations focused on helping individuals reach their full potential. They have created a partnership with the Philadelphia Foundation, another community foundation that strengthens the economic, social, and civic vitality of Greater Philadelphia. As you know, Victory is in Pennsylvania, so it makes sense. They are working with an organization called Back on My Feet. It's a nonprofit working to combat homelessness in 14 major cities across the U.S., including the Victory's hometown of Philadelphia. And to set the fund in motion, Victory has donated 10 grand, ultimately striving to raise 25 grand for the Back on My Feet by year end. And I mean, I think this brewery has enough backers and promoters and people who love the beer and the organization that will definitely help that. So I'm sure they can get to that by the end of the year. 25,000, they already have 10.
Yeah, they're crushing it, and it's a great cause and oddly timely. Is that distasteful to say after they just had that fire?
No, it's not distasteful to say. I kind of agree. I think,
just a little bit of irony. I like irony.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, they did have the fire recently, but it's good to know that a little fire is not going to stop them from
raising money for a great cause.
Oh boy.
Talk about the beer.
Yeah, the beer sounds dope. As I mentioned, it's called Brotherly Love. It's a smooth, drinkable 6% hazy IPA characterized by bright citrus notes that drift into a tropical fruit character and finishes with a touch of apricot. Oh boy.
Ooh, are you an apricot person?
Apricot or apricot?
I'm an apricot person. I think.
Say apricot?
Yeah, apricot. Oh, 100% apricot. You're an apricot person?
No, I don't really ever eat it, so I rarely come across this word, so I just kind of took a shot in the dark, and here we are.
You said apricot. It's on record.
Okay, well then I'm an apricot person.
Ew.
Fight me.
We have an update to a story from last week. If you listened in, we talked about Port Brewing and Lost Abbey and Tiny Bubbles.
Tiny Bubbles!
Terminating their distribution deal with Stone Distributing. Well, they have been picked up by Scout Distributing. So Scout Distribution is an independently owned craft wholesaler that was formed in 2018 in California. So just an update to that story, but what does it mean for us? Scout's distribution territory is much smaller than Stone's. Mm-hmm. Stone's covers a lot of the California seaboard up from San Diego, going up to like Santa Barbara, which if you know California, that's way north of LA by several hours. Scout's is essentially just San Diego and Orange County. It really doesn't even hit like Santa Monica, let alone Santa Barbara or anything north of that. So it's a much smaller territory. Now, this is a craft wholesaler. It's a company that's all about being independent, being craft. So they're growing. So maybe that distribution channel will grow. But for the time being, if you are someone who's really into Port Brewing or Lost Abbey or Tiny Bubbles, and you're in that like top half of that territory, you might lose out on some pizza port for a little bit.
Some pizza port. So when you say Scout Distributing, like the Boy Scouts?
No.
How hilarious would that be, though?
They had to pivot. They went bankrupt. They're like, all right.
I don't know, making fires in the woods ain't
Girl
working.
Scout got cookies.
What do we have? We have rope tying.
Let's make beer.
Yeah, there we go. God, that would be hilarious.
Dude, I would buy the shit out of some Boy Scout beer if they had it.
Boy Scout beer and Girl Scout cookies? Come on, perfect night.
Can you just picture like some 12-year-old boy at your door like,
you want an IPA? Yeah. We ran out of stouts. Like, how old are you?
It's for a good cause.
That's awesome. Let's get nostalgic for a minute. Remember Scratch and Sniff?
Boy, do I. Take me back to the...
Pair that with a beer can. Craft House Brewery is launching, it's called Way to Man Go, with a Scratch and Sniff label.
Yeah, Way to Man Go. As in way to go, man.
But it's mango.
But it's... Oh, that's what... See...
Ba-bang.
Wow, I didn't even... Mind blown.
Yeah.
Good work, guys. Good work.
So they're in Nevada. They're launching Nevada's first, possibly the country's first, scented beer label. It's a double dry hopped mango IPA. It was printed by Express Labels, who are always up for the challenge to help Craft House stand out. And Pink Kitty Creative, which is Craft House Brewery's graphic designer, they played with late 70s and early 80s colors to give off the nostalgia of like grade school for people who are older and can drink. Those colors aren't nostalgic for us necessarily, but the Scratch and Sniff definitely is. And the scent is expected to be fragrant for at least 6 months.
Yeah. So if I ever am in a beer shop and I just see people sniffing their cans. I mean,
Oh my god.
Ew.
I don't know about that. You just like
I feel like maybe don't do it in public because you'll look weird, but it is kind of funny and kind of cool. This is definitely the first I'm hearing about it, and putting the label aside for a second, the beer sounds dope.
it's cool. It's fun. It's fun. I don't mean to make fun of it. I just am imagining somebody with like a beer can to their nose, just like sniffing it, and it.
Oh my god! It smells like mango. It's like
it's off-putting.
Dave, just drink the beer and shut up.
Stop, Dave. You need to get out of the house. Finally, This Week in Gross is back.
Woo!
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, and we are featuring Bar Box in this segment. Bar Box is now available for purchase in California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and Washington. But you know where it's not, Gabe?
Oh, I know. Montana!
That's right. But good for those people. Montanans wouldn't want it. Anyway, what is Bar Box? Bar Box is craft cocktails in a fucking box.
Yeah.
And it's picture a wine box.
Yeah.
With all that means to you.
Yeah.
And now put craft cocktails in there. And that's what it is. According to co-founder Matthias Kazuba, quote, "Our goal was to produce a quality craft cocktail that tastes like it was made at a sophisticated bar while offering convenience, portability, and playfulness. Currently available, they have the Cosmopolitan, the Negroni, and a vodka sour."
Serves over 14 though. That's certainly fill up a party.
People, not over 14-year-olds.
Oh God, no. Sorry. No. 14 legal drinking age people. Sorry. Woof.
Yeah, I don't know if I need my cocktails out of a box.
Yeah.
And also, a vodka sour should have egg in it.
That's true.
I don't want egg in a box.
Yeah, how's that gonna like keep?
Unless they're not putting the egg white in it, but like if you don't have egg white, is it a sour?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is definitely on the.
We haven't tried it, so I'm not going to give it 2 thumbs down, but I'm going to give the idea 2 thumbs down because it's just unnecessary.
Okay, let me ask you this though. You're in a bar with a full tap list and spirits and bottles and everything. Are you ordering a Cosmo regularly?
Absolutely not.
Well, there you go.
But would I order a Negroni I wouldn't order a vodka sour, but I'd get a whiskey sour.
That's true.
So,
this will sell though. Let's be real. Like the box looks colorful. It looks like a party. If you're in a pinch, if you're looking for something that you don't want to mix. If the other thing is, I'll play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
If you're gonna if you want a cocktail and you like don't know how to make it or don't want to take the time to make it, I mean, this will aid in convenience of time. Will it aid in flavor? Probably not. But,
I hope that in life I'm never at the point where I need a cocktail just that bad, but I also have no interest in even learning how to make it. But you know what? It's playful. It's fun.
It's cute.
Who are we to judge? We're the hosts, and we are judging.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to AleSmith. Let's go back to them.
Let's do it.
It's been a while.
Steven has a toast for us.
Of course I do.
We're getting jazzy in here.
All right, so you got the jersey on. Let's pay a little homage to the city of San Francisco, shall we? San Diego. My bad. The city sits amid her palms. The perfume of her twilight breath is something as the sacred bombs that bound sweet Jesus after death. Such soft, warm twilight scents as lie against the gates of paradise. Such prayerful palms, wide palms, upreached. This sea mist is as incense smoke, yon ancient walls a sermon preached, white lily with a heart of oak. And oh, this twilight, oh, the grace of twilight on my lifted face. And just for fun, a quote from Martin Luther, the great Martin Luther. I don't know if he was great. He may not have been a great guy. I really don't know. But anyway, Martin Luther said, "Whoever drinks beer, he is quick to sleep. Whoever sleeps long does not sin. Whoever does not sin enter heaven. Thus, let us drink beer.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Joaquin Miller for writing that poem, which is called Sunset in San Diego, not San Francisco.
I say we start drinking.
Drink some beer?
Let's do it. All right. It's been a while since we've had a beer of this color. It is just bright red.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty.
This is we're starting things off with the Limeberry Twist Raspberry Lime Goza Ale. It is coming in at 4.7% ABV. IBUs 2.7 on the SRM chart. I would put this in the wine category almost. It's it's cherry red.
Yeah, it's as red as the can it came from. If you're over on YouTube, you can take a look at this, and it's bright ruby red, very clear, no haze or anything like that. Also, when we poured it, it had a nice, like, I would say half thumb of really pretty pink foam.
Yeah, it went away quickly.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a Valentine's Day beer
that we're drinking in weeks later.
March, yeah.
Yeah.
But we got around to it.
Eventually. Yeah,
but it's, I feel like this one, I feel like as a lineup, all these beers that we're about to get into are sort of super refreshing. Like it's very San Diego. Like I feel like all the beers we're about to drink, and this one is a great way to kick it off. The brewery says this refreshingly sour and deliciously fruity beer brings the bright flavors of limes and the soft sweetness of raspberries with a pinch of sea salt.
Perfect that you just said that, because I was getting ready to say it's very, very fruity and it's there, but that salt is definitely in the background. Like it's definitely coming off of the nose quite well, as it would with a Goza, but it smells like candy, like liquid candy.
Yeah, the raspberry is the first thing you get. I mean, it's and you can even tell from looking at it. It's got a high carbonation, kind of looks like a spritzer.
Yeah, it really does.
And then when you put your nose to it, I mean, raspberry first and foremost, but there's definitely lime and citrus in there, a little bit of orange, a little bit of spiciness, some like coriander and some things like that, but salt comes through for sure. It's a little bit like putting your nose to like a raspberry flavored margarita.
I agree. I would agree with that. It's got, I'm trying to think of the candy I smell. It's very specific, like maybe Skittle, like maybe Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
Little bit.
It's not that sweet.
No,
I'm just trying to think of raspberry. Get Starburst.
Yes.
Sweet tarts.
I haven't eaten a lot of candy recently. It's if I'm gonna eat like candy, it's always like chocolate bars. Like not like the sugary stuff. Anywho. Beer Advocate has yet to review it. Untapped gave it a 3.72.
Also, according to the can, this pairs well with cloth-bound cheddar. Cloth-bound. It's got to be cloth-bound.
I don't know what that means.
Me
but
either.
I love me some cheddar.
But I like that they specified it.
Cloth-bound. I got to Google that later.
Well, here we go. AleSmith.
It smells like it's going to be sour, but it smells like a good sour. So here we go.
It's a subtle sour. I don't get a lot of tart. Like this isn't like when you put your nose to like a kettle soured, something like that. It's a Goza, so the sour is going to come from the sea salt, the seawater, and so it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little bit more on the refreshing side. That's my guess.
Bottoms up.
I really like this because it's one of those situations where when you smell it, you do get a whole lot of raspberry to the point that you're like, all right, I smell, kind of like when you smell a seltzer or something, you smell a lot of that fruit. Mm-hmm. But when you sip it, that is more muted. I mean, more what comes forward to me is lime, is salt, is citrus. The berry is there, but it's subtle, and that's good because I don't want a beer that's super sweet. This is really thirst quenching.
Yeah, it's not overpowering. Mm-hmm. My favorite part of this is the fruity, salty, back-end bitter taste bitter in quotes. It's not that bitter, but it's got that aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
And it's just so fruity and delicious. And it does, I wouldn't say it tastes like a margarita, but it reminds me of a margarita.
It is more in the realm of wine. I'll put it.
Yeah, okay, I would agree with that.
If you're a beer drinker, I don't know that this is the one that's going to get you there. But if you are someone, one of those like we talk about all the time, if you're more into wine or you're not into craft beer, I really think you'll love this because it's fruity. It doesn't have any of that bitter hoppy thing that a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm not into beer. I don't like IPAs." And it's like,
that's not the only thing.
that there's a world.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other options. So this really hits those notes. It's thirst quenching. The mouthfeel is vibrant.
It's a party,
zingy.
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's really great. I really like the light carbonation. I feel like this definitely kind of like dances on the palate. Not a lot of sticky lacing, just a tad.
No, it's
but
clean.
It's kind of falling down quickly. I can't get over that cloth bound cheddar. Why don't we have cloth bound cheddar, Steven?
Because I don't know what it is.
We didn't do our job.
This it's crushable as hell. I mean, we said 4.7. I mean, you could shoot this back. Yeah. It's like drinking juice. It's perfect for some sunny San Diego weather, nice beach day.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a drinking in the sun type of day, beer. You know what I mean? Like this isn't, this won't keep you warm in the winter in New England. So this is like, if you want to drink this authentically, go to San Diego and drink it.
And as well you should, because it's the last time I traveled somewhere that wasn't like LA or, coming back here was San Diego. Like that's the last place I went. Yeah, I went like right on the cusp of the lockdown. So things were like just shutting down, but weren't quite there yet.
You were still like, all right, well, we still got the green light. Let's
visited some breweries.
Yeah, let's knock these out while we can.
Yeah. I'm really glad they sent this to us because I don't think, maybe by the summer we'd be able to get these here, but certainly not now. We wouldn't be able to. And it's just it's the kind of thing I would never ever reach for because of my preferences.
Yeah.
But it's
great.
Like I said, the raspberry notes mixing with all the citrus and stuff. Like, is it the most complicated beer ever? No. Depth of flavor is like but it's not about that. It's about being a refreshing, like sort of riding the line between beer and seltzer.
Yeah.
But better than seltzer.
I want to drink this like in an in-ground pool in my backyard with a loved one. I'm going to paint that picture for you. You know what I'm saying though? Like this is very like on the juicy.
It was the loved one.
With a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
sort of.
And as I said earlier, like it's been a while since we've had a beer like this with this color, with this taste. I mean, we've had the Goza a few times recently, but it was, it was the color, it was orange, it was the color of beer. I mean, this is red.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Goza is such a pleasant style to me. I love it because it is sour, it is tart, but it's not like some of the ones we've had. Like when we did Hermit Thrush is a good example. Mm-hmm. That kettle soured party guy that we had.
Yeah.
Great, sour, thirst quenching, but like by the time you get to the bottom of that can, you are just full up with like carbonation, sour. It's a lot.
Pucker up.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's hard to handle a whole can of that. And this is like, it's so much more just smooth, pleasant, easier to drink.
Yeah.
It is tart, but just the way I like my tart,
It's tart, but in the sense of, once you take that second or third sip, you kind of get used to it. It's the first sip that always kind of like throws me for a loop, which is why I've come to find that with Gozas and with sours in general, I never make my decision on the beer after the first sip. It has to be sips 3 and 4 for me because my mouth has to get used to it. Because the first sip is always going to be like, whoa, like it's going to hit you in the face. But that's not necessarily what the beer is and what it's for. It's for, it's so pleasant. It's so fruity. It's It's like liquid candy.
Yeah, it also changes as it warms in the glass and different things like that. I love, someone talked about, I forget who I was listening to, a podcast or something. Someone was talking about sort of the evolution of drinking. Like there's an experience from the time it arrives at the table or it hits the glass or whatever, as it evolves over time. The drink changes, but especially if you have a cocktail and there's ice melting in it, the chemistry of the drink continues to change as the temperature changes. It changes everything about it.
Right.
Again, we're down that nerd rabbit hole, but that goes to what you're saying. Like that first sip is going to shock you, especially if it's a beer like this. And then the next couple sips are when you really get the flavor. And then beyond that, your taste buds become accustomed to whatever you're drinking.
Yeah.
So you really only have 2-3 sips when you're doing a taste test to even get the flavors off it before it's like numbed out in your mouth anyway.
Willy Wonka would love this beer. Willy Wonka would serve this at his chocolate factory.
Go on.
True or false?
Because it's
like it tastes like liquid candy. It's fruity. It's got those flavors to it. It makes it like it's sweet to the point where, it's like little kids go on the chocolate river. Adults like follow me.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
Yeah, it's not kid sweet. It's not candy sweet, but it'll keep the adults happy while the kids frolic. Dude, those kids weren't supervised anyway in there. Yeah. Let's be real. There was no supervision.
Augustus fell in the river.
He's getting fat and sucked up the thing. She's getting fat. She's a blueberry now.
The mean one's falling with the geese.
The mean one wants a golden egg. Why? What are you going to do with that egg? You don't have enough money anyway? Bye, Farouk.
Bitch. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
that was one of the weirdest tangents we've ever went on.
If you like what you hear, like, comment, and subscribe.
See, this would be one of those moments. If you didn't like that, let us know in the comments. If you did, let us know in the comments. This is how you contribute.
There we go. It all ties together.
Let us know in the comments your least rank the shittiness of those kids 1 through 5.
Yes, I would love that. Can we do that here now, quickly?
I can't remember the 5th one.
So we got Charlie, who's the hero.
Okay, obviously he's the best.
Augustus, Violet.
Charlie's a little suspect, if I'm being honest.
Charlie is a little suspect.
Too nice. There's something weird about that.
Yeah, he's got a secret that no one knows.
4 grandparents, 1 bed. What's going on?
He's a little too close with Grandpa Joe. Yeah. Anyway, so we got Charlie, Augustus, Violet, Veronica, Saul, and then the cowboy kid.
I forgot about Cowboy.
Or if you do the musical, he's like a video game guy.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Okay, well...
Let's rank the shittiness of other people.
Obviously, Veruca's the worst. I mean, she's just the worst.
From the time she opens her mouth to the time she's done,
she's just a horrid thing. I'm gonna put the girls at the top. I think Violet's the other worst one. I gotta be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like to discriminate against the gender, but Augustus, he's got an eating disorder and it's just not been handled.
He's not like mean. He's just hungry all the time.
And Mike is what happens when the TV is the babysitter.
That's true.
You gotta let the kid out to play. Mike is a warning for this. Mike is iRobot. That's what Mike is.
That's true.
And then Charlie's
on his own.
He's a little suspect too, but objectively he's the least shitty.
I'm gonna go with Veronica. I think I'm gonna put Mike second. Veruca. What did I say? Veronica?
Yes.
Veruca Saul is 1. She's just... Girl, you suck. I'm gonna put Mike second just because he kind of has that vibe to him of like, Mom, give me whatever I want.
They all do.
They all do, but like him more so than the others. Like Violet just really likes gum. First of all, I love gum, but after an hour, I'm like, my jaw hurts.
Yeah, when you're
When you're a kid, you're a little stronger.
Wrap up your list. We got to talk about beer.
And then Augustus, someone's got to address that eating disorder and his pant size, and then Charlie, because Charlie's the hero we don't deserve.
Wow, good for us. We did it.
This is what happens when you need to fill time because we're not going to talk about the brewery because we already did that.
Well, we have another beer.
Yes.
And we're going to get to it right now, and it is the Kickbackrelax. I remember making that joke last time. Kickbackrelax.
Okay, fine.
It's all one word on the can.
That's true. It's aggressive. All
right.
Kickbackrelax
is intentionally made to kind of fit in the category of low-calorie, easy-drinking beers that we see a lot. The brewery says coming in at just 120 calories and loaded with juicy notes of grapefruit, mango, and coconut. This crushable IPA is light in body with a crisp, smooth finish.
So this beer is going to help us lose weight. Got it.
Yeah, it fits that category, athletic brewing. Like it fits what we see all the time, and it's in that world. It is 4.2% ABV. The Beer Advocate has not rated it yet. Untapped has it at 3.24. The brewery claims that the IBUs are at 13. Now, I have some questions for you. If you're listening, AleSmith Brewing, I have a few questions about the IBU scale on your website, and I will continue on that topic later with the next beer we're drinking. But 13 is extremely low. Somewhere on Untapped, they have it at 55, but 13 for a session IPA, going back to what we were talking about at the top, the Brewers Association guidelines, a session IPA should be between 30 and 50. I would expect this to be more in the 30 to 40 range, just based on, 13 is extremely low, a bitterness. The IBUs, if you're not, for the uninitiated, the IBUs are international bittering units, and that's how we kind of quantify how bitter a beer is. Obviously, that's objective based on your taste buds, and also it's a little bit of a flawed scale, but it gives us a place, a number to work.
Yeah, it gives us a range to work off of.
And 13 is...
I have to say, I'm a little nervous about what the first beer's taste buds and taste is going to do to my taste buds. Now, like, I had a sip of water, but like I'm still like tasting the raspberry, and I'm like, oh, this might overpower the second one. So definitely wash out the palate because you're going to need to for this one. But it smells very hoppy. I don't know why I was expecting less. Maybe because it's quoted a crushable IPA and it's only 4.2. But like, it smells it smells kind of like dank in a way.
It's very, very light. On the SRM chart, I would put it around like a 3. It's super pale straw color. Very clear. Not a lot of lacing, not a lot of head retention.
I have some head retention. Maybe did you pour mine first?
You have a little more than I do, but
it's not a lot, but it's like it hasn't gone anywhere.
It looks like a Pilsner or something.
It does look like a Pilsner.
It looks like a light lager. You know what I mean? But yeah, the smell.
It smells very hoppy. Like I feel like in a blind taste test, if I'm just smelling this, I would expect this to be like a little stronger than 4.2. So it is very interesting.
Yeah, you get notes of grapefruit for sure. You get those citrus notes. I would wonder what hops are in here. My guess would be somewhere in the Mosaic and or like Cashmere realm, maybe.
Ooh, I was gonna say Cascade.
Really? Yeah, it's somewhere in that.
Agenda.
We don't know. We're just guessing, but very citrusy. And by citrus, it's not as tropical. Like it's not pineapple. No. It's grapefruit. It's tangerine. It's maybe orange peel.
A little orange. I was gonna say a little orange. Yeah. I have a great idea. You know what we should do? It'd be so much fun. Do
you want to drink it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know me so well. Yeah, I want to call this a Pilsner. Just based off of, it's very easy going down. It's very clean. I'm not going to say smooth, but I'm going to say clean. I'm not getting a tremendous amount of flavor.
So I am getting a good amount of flavor. However, that may be because of what I prepped my mind for going in. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big... you know me. I'm put it in a barrel, call it 12%. I'm happy.
Bite.
Yeah, and all the bite. 120 IBUs, you know. So when I'm looking at this and I'm like 4% ABV, apparently 13 IBUs, the color, everything about it, I was just like, it's here for a purpose and it's not going to be very flavorful. And so going in with that mindset, which may be a little biased, but I can't help it, but going in with that mindset, I'm actually getting a good amount of flavor out of it. I'm getting citrus notes. I'm getting hops. I'm getting a good bite in the back end.
Okay. It's funny because I don't think I'm getting it as much as you are, and that could be our taste buds. I'm getting a very strong malt backbone.
Yeah, I get a balance for sure.
Yeah.
But grapefruit peel is in there. Is it like an explosion of citrus flavor? No. It's subtle. But I think it's important, and I feel like just based on reviews I read, from other Untapped users and whatnot, I feel like it's important to remember the context in which this beer was made. It was made for a purpose.
Right.
It was made to be crushable, to be low calorie.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna say something bold here, based off of what we like and who we are. I think we could shotgun this.
You're not wrong at all. We absolutely could.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
It'd probably be more fun than shotgunning like a Bud Light.
Yeah, because it'll be a little more flavorful and a little more like purposeful.
Head over to YouTube. We did that for the 4th of July. You can check it out. It's still there.
Comment if you want us to do it again.
But this is, I think it has decent flavor. It's citrus first, it's grapefruit. It's definitely subtle. There is a good bit of earthiness in there, which again leads me to that mosaic world with the hops.
Yeah, it's earthiness
Spiciness,
for sure. Yeah.
And there's some bite in the background. I mean, I just don't believe you with the 13 IBUs. I don't believe you guys.
Ruh-roh.
If you're listening, please send us an email and tell me if I'm wrong. Or I actually looked today, because between this and the beer that's coming up, I was like, is there another scale? Like, am I missing something? Because
they don't go 1 to 100, they go like 1 to 20.
Honestly, it's confusing. But
if you're watching on YouTube, some good lacing on the sides.
More than I thought there was.
More foam, but it's there.
So this one, I think, is just for, if you're looking for a great low calorie option, I would reach for this before I reached for, Miller Lite or any of those light drinking beers.
Because here's the thing. You're going to get the same thing, but 1, it's going to be a little bit better. 2, it's going to be a little more flavorful. And 3, it's going to be a better brewery.
And it's an IPA. I mean, IPAs are, across the board, some of the most high calorie beers you can drink. People think it's stouts, but it's not. It's IPAs. Those are the highest calorie beers, really. So it's harder to make a low calorie IPA.
Yeah.
And this has those flavors. It's got way more flavor than you're going to get off one of those light lagers that you can pick up in the store. So I would reach for it for that purpose.
But is this beer bad? Absolutely not.
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not our go-to style, and I feel like it's not the go-to style of a lot of craft beer heads that write these reviews on these websites. But I feel like it's super important, and it's the kind of beer that like brings more people. Again, going back to that inclusivity thing we were talking about earlier, brings more people into the fold. I mean, if you have a lineup and you're like, would you like this wine cooler beer, basically? Would you like this low calorie beer? Or would you like the one that we have coming up next? You're going to cover a good swath of drinkers right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And please a lot of palates.
Yeah, and the group of friends you hang out with once it's safe again will all have something that they can go to, and they'll all have a choice. And I like it. I think it's a little more simple than I'd like it to be. But then again, one man's simple is another man's complex. That's a saying, right?
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah,
it is now.
All right.
Gabe on the hop.
Trademark.
We have one more to do. We have one more beer to get to. So let's do that.
All right, beer number 3. We are rounding things out with the Cloudstream Hazy IPA. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Mm-hmm. It is coming in at 6.9%, so this one's going to be a little hefty. IBUs to speak of, I think the website said 7, or not the website, just what we read online.
No, the website said 7.
The website said 7.
This is where I have the questions, guys. This is what I'm saying. Like, between this, like, all right, the last one said 13 and I didn't believe it. You're telling me this has less IBUs than that. This is what made me just really confused. And again, the Beer Advocate guidelines define a juicy hazy IPA as having IBUs between 30 and 50. I would expect this to, I wouldn't expect this to be West Coast bitter, so I wouldn't expect 70, but I would expect 50 for an ABV of 6.9. So
we gonna see.
I'm a little confused by that 7. I've never ever seen a beer that low.
Yeah.
7 is ridiculously low. I don't know what they're grading that on, but that's very low. Anyway,
I would love to see their chart.
continue.
From our SRM chart, we're looking at, as he said, about a 5 to a 7. Very goldenish color, a little bit of dark orange. It looks very hazy. The note from the brewery says, "You've just stumbled upon a beer so rich in hazy content that it had to be downloaded from the cloud. Like a river of juiciness flowing from the heavens, this year-round hazy IPA is packed with dazzling notes of red currant, passion fruit, and mango. Its full body and creamy mouthfeel are followed by a smooth, drinkable finish. Oh boy, I added the oh boy."
Yep, true to the style. It's very hazy. Yellow SRM, I would put it, 5, 6. I mean, it's golden. It's not dark amber or anything. It's pretty yellow.
I almost spilled. I did not though. Holy crap! It definitely looks very golden-ish.
Good head retention. Good eggshell head here, ivory.
It's kind of when you first handed it to me, like I just brought it up like right here, and I could smell it. It smells very like. It's got the hoppy smell to it. Like you can smell the hops, but I want to say like honey maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I wasn't going to say honey, but I was going to say that is sweet.
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Candied pineapple. I mean, that's juicy. Like I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun. I feel like this is more of like our go-to in a way. So we're not allowed to say anything negative. I'm kidding. But
it smells juicy, like the style. It smells like sweet citrus, pineapple, some orange, definitely mango, definitely, and like pillowy. Like I smell some cream in there. Like it's.
I smell a smooth, fluffy mouthfeel.
Yeah, and I wonder what's in the malt bill. I wonder if there's any like oats or anything like that, because it just smells like it's going to be like one of those creamier ones. But that's
oats.
Yeah.
It's the way you said it.
Okay, I can't hold back anymore. Let's drink her.
Thank you, AleSmith, for sending us beer. We love you guys.
New beers, check them out.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I feel like I want to put this more in the New England juicy category, but it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not too much.
No.
It's very, very citrusy. This has got to have citra hops in it. If it doesn't, I will be shocked. It's very, very flavorful. It is not as fluffy and creamy as I thought it would be, but it has a little bit of that in there. It's definitely there. It's just not like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the malt backbone is not as prevalent as I thought it was going to be. It's more hop forward, but it's definitely, like you said, citra hops. You get the pineapple, the grapefruit, the mango, all of those things. It's sort of fluffy in your mouth, but it's not necessarily creamy. It's more got a zing to it. The mouthfeel is like a little spicy, a little sparkly.
A little bit.
Slightest bit of bite in the back end, not a lot. I think, honestly, I think the session had more bite to me, just in the
Interesting.
back
You
end.
think so? Okay.
Just bite, because this,
Yeah, I don't think it has bite, but I wouldn't. For me personally, I think this, compared this to the Kickbackrelax, I would say this definitely. That's how you have to say it. Kickbackrelax. I would say this one is definitely like stronger, obviously because of the ABV, but like blind taste test, I'm like, oh yeah, this one is a little more of a punch than the other one.
Yeah, for sure. More flavor, no doubt. It's just when I talk about bitterness specifically,
right?
Like there was more, I think a little bit more bite in that one, which makes sense because that one apparently had 13 IBUs. This one apparently has 7 IBUs. I don't believe those numbers, but even if you scale them way up.
Yeah, I don't believe those numbers.
But even if you scale them up, the point is that one had more than this one.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those beers that would be incredible, exceptional, amazing on tap right from the brewery. Like, yes, we're drinking it from the can and it was sent to us and it's great. I love it. But to have it at the brewery, like made like right there is, I feel like there's just, there is a difference.
Yeah. And here's to the day that we can do that again.
Here's the day that we travel to San Diego. We make a pit stop in LA. And I've never been to San Diego, and I've heard it's amazing.
It's
so I
beautiful.
need to go.
I just from the head brewer and director of brewery ops there. His name is Ryan Crisp. This was him speaking on the new beers, and in their press release, he did say they were excited to bring on a few new beers for 2021. All of these beers are new to their year-round lineup, so they're there for perpetuity.
Yeah.
We've been brewing test batches these past few months to perfect these recipes until we were happy with the final outcome. With the new lineup of year-round beers, there is a style for every type of beer drinker. That's what I was saying.
Correct.
So it's a nice compliment. I mean, AleSmith, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Go back and listen to round 58 to hear about their stellar, phenomenal, top-of-the-line West Coast IPA and their Speedway Stout, which we loved, and to hear about everything else they have on tap. But these are just great additions to their lineup, which will just round it out a little bit more.
Yeah, and the Order of the Anvil, their beer club, learn all about that. We are thinking about joining.
We normally rank the beers that we have done. I feel like it might be pointless to do it, but we could do it together. In the number one spot, 1, 2, 3, the Cloud Stream, right?
No. Goza.
You're going with the Goza?
I'm going with the Goza as number one. It was just so flavorful, and I love the Cloud Stream. The Cloud Stream is 2, definitely. Kickbackrelax is number 3.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Goza is my number 1 today, and I was just as shocked as you were. I was baffled. I was...
Just because it was different?
It was different, but it was just so good. Like, I was expecting, like, oh, okay, it's a Goza, it's raspberry, we're going to get those flavors. Like, I was like... Wow, I could drink this like all day.
Yeah, it's really... If you can find that raspberry Goza.
1, 2, 3. Class drink. No! That was great. I would love to...
I thought you were going to be there with me.
No.
At all.
Because the second you started counting, I was like, I don't think he's going to pick Goza.
I thought you'd at least speak.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to embarrass you.
That Limeberry twist is really, really good. Yeah. My favorite is the Cloud Stream just because of what I like, but that is really good. And get your hands on it. The Kickbackrelax is if you're into low calorie beers, that's a really well done one. I normally don't like low calorie beers, and I liked that one more than I normally.
If you're on a diet and you're trying to lose weight, but you still want to drink the Kickbackrelax.
Kickbackrelax. All right, we have to move on real quick before we get out of here. We always like to end on a fun topic. Just before we even do that, a quick thank you again to AleSmith for sending us these beers. We were so excited to get to do this, and I have some questions about your IBU skills, but other than that, really think you guys did an amazing job.
We were so honored and so happy. This was the first time a brewery sent us beer, and so when we heard that they were going to do it, we 100% wanted to do it as soon as possible. So we bumped a few other breweries to put you in the lineup again.
All right, let's talk about the Golden Globes, which happened last night for like 5 minutes tops.
Okay, the Golden, I'm calling them the Golden British Globes.
Yeah, because everyone that won was British.
Everyone that won was British, and I mean, rightfully so. They're all deserved it. They're all great actors and actresses and whatnot, but just every speech was, wow, oh my God, I'm so excited. Thank you so much to the Hollywood Foreign Press. And I was like, geez, wow, we got another one.
Yeah, I tell my classmates all the time, the Brits do it better.
The Brits do it.
And I
tell me that, twice.
And it's true, but it was a little bit like by the end of the ceremony, it's like, all right, we've given out like 8 acting noms at this point, and like they're all British.
Yeah, they're all British and Jodie Foster
and Catherine O'Hara, but like a little Canadian.
Yeah,
but even they got like Schitt's Creek. We love That's our wheelhouse, show. And a lot of them got bumped for the fucking Crown. But, all right.
Apparently it's a good show. But yes, there's one thing that Steven's dying to talk about.
Name your favorite moment of the Globes before I talk about mine.
Well, favorite moment was when Chadwick Boseman
I was going to say, that was my favorite.
That was my favorite moment, and I know what direction you were going with. I have like a favorite moment and then a favorite like funny moment.
Okay.
Favorite moment was when Chadwick Boseman won.
Me too.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but I can't wait to watch it, and it looks incredible. His wife giving that speech just made you feel all the feels.
Yeah.
I think my favorite moment was just all the Zoom fuck ups, like all the all the like I understand they're doing the best what they can with what they have, but there's just a small part of me that's just like,
it's just funny because we watched the Emmys, and the Emmys were way before this.
They did really well with the Emmys.
They were way less zoomy.
Yeah.
This was very zoomy. And with all that entails.
I just love how like someone would be giving their acceptance speech and then someone who wasn't even in the category would cut to them. It's like, why are you showing them?
It was, I mean, you know, again, we get it. Okay, my favorite comedy moment was that Norman Lear won for, he was given the Carol Burnett Award for Lifetime Achievement. And when he was in his speech, he said that he had daughters aged like ages 70 something
74 to like 20
to like
something.
26, and we were like, what? Like, this dude is 99. That cannot be true. Hop listeners, I'm here to report it is 100% true.
Steven did his research for
I
this.
looked it up, and it took me down a tabloid rabbit hole. I would recommend just hit his Wikipedia page. That gives you everything you need to know.
There we go, yeah.
But Norman the dog Lear, proof that you can have, as a man, you can have children whenever you want.
Still firing bullets.
It never stops. The man has 6 children from 3 wives. His oldest daughter is apparently a sex therapist. Good for her. And she was born in 1947. Okay?
Wow.
His oldest daughter was born in 1947. My parents were born in 1964. His oldest daughter was born in 1947. His youngest daughters, they're twins, were born in 1994. I was born in 1992.
93.
He had a kid before my parents were born, and he had another kid after my parents birthed me.
This guy's a legend. Oh my God.
So to sum that up, Norman Lear, who is older than my grandmother, has kids that are younger than me.
I mean, good for him, I guess?
I guess. Also, one of his twin daughters just graduated a grad program at USC. Fight on. So
we'll get to that Coliseum one of these days.
But yeah, that shocked the shit out of me. And no one else, like, in the room, it was you and me watching it, and my dad was there too, though, and no one...
It was just so funny because
I was the only one bothered by that. I was like...
We both looked at each other like, wait, did he say 27? I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, he's making a joke.
Maybe his grandkids are his kids.
Yeah,
the spirit.
I don't know.
No, he meant it.
I mean... Good for him, I guess. We also couldn't get over Aaron Sorkin's apartment penthouse. That dude is living large.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of this, is seeing inside these people. Like, some of them are just like, fuck it, I'm in my bed. Like, honestly.
Jason Sudeikis, shout out that hoodie.
Yeah. And then some of them have really nice setups, and then some, like Aaron Sorkin, he's got a couch behind a couch. He's got I've never seen stacked couches.
He's got like a beer. He's got a bar like in his kitchen. It looked awesome.
Sectioned off.
Also, I heard this morning, apparently Jason Sudeikis' hoodie, like apparently it went online for you to buy the exact same one and it sold out in like minutes.
Well, they said that at the end of I thought they were kidding.
No. Apparently it sold out like within minutes. I good for him. I love that mustache. You know, we were very happy in some awards.
One of the Americans that won.
One of the Americans that
Jason
won.
Sudeikis.
You know, we were happy for some people. I feel like, you know, there's just so much TV and movies out there. A lot of it we were like, wait, what's the what who's that? Not who's that, but definitely like, oh, I haven't heard of this movie. So we have a lot of catching up to do, but there's not enough time in the day to do all of it. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, you can never go wrong.
Never go wrong.
Never go wrong. I think they did a good job about doing it bi-coastal. Tina Fey was in New York and Amy Poehler was in LA. I think they did that really well. And I loved, and special shout out to all the people in the audience who were the first responders. That was incredible. I
was glad they did that.
And they did that for the Super Bowl too.
But I'm still not over the fact that Norman Lear has a 26-year-old daughter, because that means that when she was like a baby, like you need to coddle her, wake up late in the night. He was 70, like 2. I mean, can you imagine being like it's 72? The 72-year-olds that I know, I don't know a lot of them, but the ones that I do know, they are over it. They're done. They're not waking up. I mean, my parents are not anywhere close to 72, And when some new baby in our family is born, they have no interest in crying kids. They're like, we love you. And as soon as it starts crying, they're like, I'm going to the beach. Goodbye. 72? Like
at 9:30, he's been asleep for 2 hours.
When she came to him and was like, I'm pregnant, the next thing he did was drop a contract that was like, listen,
I need you to do everything.
I will do nothing. And Mark Maron has a joke about that from when he was 50. Yeah. This guy's 72.
Yeah. This guy knows what's up. Norman the dog Lear.
That's what I'm calling him.
Also, special shout out to Jane Fonda. Listen, judge me, say what you want, but that woman,
she's perfection.
She's okay. She is okay.
Okay.
We should get the hell out of here.
On that,
we won't stop talking about the clothes. Yeah.
So AleSmith, again, thank you so much, guys. Check them out. Check out Round 58 if you haven't. Here's to when we can go to San Diego, and just because we have it in the soundboard and we have to play it.
You stay classy, San Diego.
There he is. He made an appearance.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening, sticking with us, subscribing, rating, reviewing. Let us know your rankings for Willy Wonka's.
That's all we really care about.
That's the most important now. But go get these beers if you can, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
We will be back next Thursday. Chadwick Boseman, this one's for you.
Cheers, guys.
Peace out.